How's everybody tonight? So, first of all, a fun fact about me. I have one glass, one cup in my house, and it's for when my mom comes and visits to have her coffee in it. And you may say, why, Becky, do you not have glass in your house? Well, if you all know me in 2000, started in 1990, no, 2000, 2000 or 2020, and I spent almost 2 years going every Friday to the wound care clinic. And during there, I spent 9 days in the hospital during COVID where you were not allowed to have visitors. So, what do you do during that time? You watched hospital TV channels. And I know Jenny's a big one that tells you she likes to journal. But when you were in the hospital and you can't have nobody really to talk to, you journal because the nurse gave me a tablet. So I watched on the wound care clinic channel about glass. So I had to go check some facts out today or the last couple of days to get ready for this. But do you know the number three reason why people go to the wound care clinic? It is because of glass. Now, 1996 to 2006, there were some major changes in glass. They went from the borosilicate, I might say that wrong, but
That's okay.
They changed it to the sodium lime. So there was a lot. So the biggest three, I'm gonna just give you the three: Corningware, Corel, and Pyrex were the three biggest changes in that time of changing glasses. So they would make it cheaper for people to afford. So that is why a lot of people are looking for the older glasses or the older Pyrex and stuff. With that being said, you want to watch some of the newer glasses that have colors on them because they are not made to bake in. They are not made. They are a serving dish. They are not, even though they may look like a casserole dish, they are not made. So know your glass, know your glass, know your glass because you do not want to spend any time in the wound care clinic. So with that being said, we are going to make in our square Voila glass. We're going to make the new TikTok cinnamon rolls. How many have seen this recipe? It is so much fun. Now, you could use a 9x13, but it's just me, and I only want to make a small batch of them. So I will definitely post a recipe after this is all said and done. So, but I love this glass because guess what? Like I said, I don't have glass in my house, so don't tell nobody, but my mom and my daughter's getting it for Christmas. It's a secret.
Oh, we won't tell.
So, because you got to have everybody safe in the. So, you do not want to spray this. Do not use Pam spray. Do not use none of that spray anytime because it's really not good for you. But, you know, I'm an old fashioned kind of person. So, guess what? I like my butter. So, I like to butter the bottom of my pan, even though you don't have to. I like to do it just because it's something that my grandma would have taught me to do. Now, talking about my grandma, she'd been like rolling over in her grave today. She's like, "Why aren't you making cinnamon rolls from scratch?" But her recipe makes like 6 dozen of them, and I don't need that many. So we're just gonna go with making this. So we're gonna, and if you have this, you love it. If you don't have it, hopefully they bring it back so you can get it because it is the greatest thing. And I butter my casserole dish. Now we need that butter, so we're just going to use a little bit. But you know, butter always makes stuff yummy. Now the recipe calls for 2 cans, but like I said, I don't need 2 cans. Now I'm using the gigantic ones or the giant ones. You can use the regular ones and use 2 cans of those if you need more and you don't want the bigger can. I guess I should have opened this. So, just a can of cinnamon rolls. You can use the Walmart brand, the Myers brand, the Pillsbury kind, whatever kind you want. Just a can of cinnamon rolls. And you're going to put them in your, like I said, I buttered them because I'm that kind of I'm gonna put them in there. You could do this in the round one. You could do, if you do the 2 cans, you definitely want to use the 9 by 13. So you're gonna put them in there. We're gonna set them aside for a minute. So then we have our butter, because you need that. And then you need brown sugar. And you know, you can make your own brown sugar with sugar and molasses, right? So then you don't have all the preservatives in the, and I know you're probably thinking, girl, you're using cinnamon rolls from a can. Well, I'm trying to be 80% ingredients only. So we take in steps at a time. And then got your spice shaker, because I usually use that other end. So we'll just use that other end. And you know what? This is your cinnamon roll brand. So guess what? I'm measuring with the heart with the cinnamon because I like some cinnamon. So we're just going to mix that in there. And yeah, you could put this in a bowl, but I already dirtied the, so we're going to just stir that in the measure and the micro pitcher here. Because it works. Now, if you're making the bigger batch, you may want to use a bowl. So you mix that up. Now you can add vanilla in there, but that's up to you. Like I said, these are your cinnamon rolls. So we're going to get our cinnamon rolls back. Now, sorry, I have pumpkin spice creamer that I made. Because you know, you're supposed to put, you can put half and half, or heavy whipping cream. But we're going to use this pumpkin spice creamer that I made because I need to use it up. I don't want it to go to waste. And guess what? It's just going to give it a little bit of a pumpkin spice taste. I will post a recipe for that also if you guys want that. And you want to sprinkle, or you want to put the all around it. So let me show you. So, and you want to put about a half a cup to, just so they're covered and around it. Then you're going to take our brown sugar and butter, and you got to have the spreader. And one of my favorite things to do is, because these are, you get 2 of these for $11, and with our discount, you know, they're a wonderful deal. I like to give one of these to my hostess because you can't just have one. You have to have several. And they work so well spreading the mixture on your cinnamon rolls. You can just, so we're going to take that, put that on there. And maybe it might not be enough for you when you want to add a little extra, because some people like theirs a little sweet. But I need to make another batch of brown sugar, and I was running out of time. So make sure you scrape that well. But I think everybody needs to have a spreader in their house. So then I know I'm using the little chopper and we don't have that right now, but this is like one of my favorite. This is like the 3rd time I've used it in my house today. But you could use the bigger one, especially. Got some walnuts in here, because maybe you want to add a little nuts to it. So chop them up to whatever size that you want. I don't want them too fine, but I want them fine enough to. So I'm going to take these and spread on top of that cinnamon. Now, if you want, you can use the icing from the package. You can make your own icing. I'm not a big icing fanatic, so I would prefer just to eat these plain and just eat them that way. But that, like I said, it's your cinnamon rolls, so you can do what you want. So I do love them with nuts. And maybe you need a little extra protein in them. If you add a little bit of protein powder to your brown sugar mixture to add a little extra protein, definitely. So then I'm gonna put this in the oven for a half hour, and then when it's done, I'll show you guys. But this is our TikTok cinnamon roll recipe.
Yum, yum, yum. Actually, my daughter made those the other day. They're so good. So good. Thank you, Rebecca. That was so fun. And I want you to just draw attention to the fact how many products did she use? And she talked about them all.